So today's topic is geometry. We'll be looking at some sample questions. Let's begin. So the first question says, the figure below is composed of 5 squares of equal area as indicated by the dotted lines. The total area of the figure is 45. What is the perimeter of the figure? So let's assume each side is of L units. Then the area of each square will be L square, and there are 5 squares in total. So 5 into L square will be our area, and it's given that the total area of the figure is 45. So we equate this to 45. Dividing both sides by 5, you get L square is equals to 9. That means L is equal to 3. So L is equals to 3 units. Now what are they asking us? They are asking what is the perimeter of the figure. So the figure has how many sides? Let's look at the perimeter, that is only these outer sides will be counting. Let's count them. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. We have 12 sides that will be included in the perimeter. The perimeter will be 12 into the length of each side L, which we calculated as 3 units. So substituting that, we will get 12 into 3 is equals to 36 units. Perimeter is 36, that is option B. Let's look at the next question. A circle has an area of 4 pi. The radius, if the radius were doubled, the new area of the circle would be how many times the original area? Okay, they are telling us the area of circle is 4 pi. So area of circle A, say A is equals to pi r square is the formula which is given as 4 pi. So when we equate this, we can cancel out pi on both sides and you will get r square is equal to 4. That means that r, that is radius, is equal to 2. Now they are telling us that the radius is doubled. So the new radius r dash is equals to 2 into, it's doubled, so 2 into r, that is 2 units, so totally 4. How many times the new area of the circle would be how many times the original area? So the new area now A dash will be pi into r dash whole square, that is pi into 4 square, that comes out to be 16 pi. They are asking us A dash is how many times in of the original area, that is how many times the original area. A dash is, let's say, some k into A. So that is A dash is 16 pi is some constant k into the original area is 4 pi. You can cancel out pi on both sides. We will be left with k is equals to 16 divided by 4, that is equals to 4. So the new area of the circle A dash is 4 times the original area. So the option is C. Let's look at the next question now. If a regular hexagon is inscribed in a circle with radius 4, the area of the hexagon is. So when we join these sides of the edges of the hexagon to the center, we see that each of this is also equal to the radius, that is 4 units. They are all equal to 4 units, and this is, we know that the angle that circle subtends at the center is 360 degrees, and here we are having that in 6 parts. We are dividing that into 6 parts with each of these angles subtended at the center in these triangles. So each angle is equals to 60 degrees, and these two sides are equal to each other. So the opposite angle will also be equal, and the whole, you know that the entire sum of the angles should add up to 60 degrees. If you say this is x degrees, this is also x degrees. So x plus 60 should add up to 180 degrees. Sum of these 3 angles of the triangle should always add up to 180 degrees. So 60 plus x is equals to 180. That means that 2x is equals to, take 60 to the other side, you have 2x is equals to 120 degrees and x is equals to 60 degrees. So this is a triangle, equilateral triangle. Each of these angles will be equal to 60 degrees. And what do you want? They are asking us the area of the hexagon. Area of the hexagon is nothing but equal to 6 into area of equilateral triangle. And equilateral triangle has a side of 4. We know that the area of an equilateral triangle is given by root 3 by 4 into side square. So, the area of the hexagon will be 6 into root 3 by 4 into side square, that is each side is of 4 units. So, root 3 by 4 into 4 into 4, therefore 4 gets cancelled, you have 6 4s are 24 root 3. So, this is our answer, which is option D. Let's move to the next question. In the figure given, if XW bisects angle X and if Y is equals to 80 degrees, Z is equals to 60 degrees, what is the measure of Y angle YXW? Okay, so we are given that this angle Y is 80 degrees and this angle Z is 60 degrees. Okay, now they're asking us to find out YXW, that is this. What is this angle? If we say that this angle is x degrees, what will this angle be? Since XW is bisecting the angle x, that means that it is dividing it into two equal parts. The angle this will also be equal to x. They will be of equal measure. So, looking at the triangle XYZ, the angles should add up to 180 degrees. That is, what is Y? Y is 80 degrees, Z is 60 degrees, and the angle subtended at x will be 2x degrees is equals to 180 degrees. So, here you have 2x is equals to 180 minus 80 plus 60 taken to the other side, 80 plus 60 is 140 is equals to 40 degrees. So, x is equals to 2x is 40, divide both sides by 2, you have x is equals to 20 degrees. Option A is the right answer. Let's look at the next question. If AB is equals to AC, BD is equals to BC and BD is the bisector of angle ABC, then what is X? Okay, here they are saying that BC is equals to BD and AB is equals to AC, that is this is equals to this. Then what is X? Okay, if you say that this angle is y degrees, then because it is equal, this angle will also be equal to y degrees. Angle opposite equal sides will be equal. Now, since this is y degrees and AB is also equal to AC, this entire angle will also be equals to y degrees. Let's look at BDC. When you're looking at triangle BDC, you know the angle subtended at B is x degrees plus angle subtended at D is y degrees plus angle subtended at C is y degrees. This is equals to 180 degrees. And they are saying that BD is the bisector of angle ABC. The angle at ABC is bisected. That means that if this is x, this small angle will also be x because this angle is bisecting, so it is equal. Angle ABC is equals to 2x, that is equals to y. We determined that these angles are equal because AB is equals to AC. Therefore, x is equals to y by 2. Substituting that into this equation, you have x plus, we need x plus 2x, y is 2x, x plus 2x plus, substituting this into this equation, you have x plus 2x is equals to 180 degrees. So, that is 1, 2 plus 3, 4 plus 5 times x is 180 degrees. So, x is equals to 180 divided by 5, 5 3s are 15, 6, 7, 8, 3 left over, 5 6 are 30, that is 36 degrees. X is 36 degrees. That comes out to be option D. Let's look at the next question. In the figure above, if PQRS is parallelogram, then y minus x is equals to what? Okay, PQRS is a parallelogram. So, what we can say about this angle? and this angle, they will be equal because corresponding angles are equal when lines are parallel. So 2y is equals to 140 degrees. And now when we look at this angle x, it will be equal to this angle. This will also come out to be x. These lines are parallel, and so we can say that 2y, since this is a straight line, you can say that 2y plus x is equals to 180. 2y is 40, so we can solve that. Say divide by both sides, you will get y is equals to 140 by 2 is 70 degrees. Now we also have this 2y plus x is equals to 180. We know 2y is 140 plus x is 180. So that means taking 140 to the other side, you say we get x is equals to 40 degrees. Now you want y minus x. That's what they want you to calculate. So y is 70 degrees minus x is 40 degrees. It comes out to be 30 degrees, which is option A is our answer. Let's look at the next question now. In the figure below, what is the value of x? It's given that all these three sides are equal. So this is an equilateral triangle, so the angle will be 60. Each of these angles will be 60. Now this is a straight line, so the angle here, angle BDC, let's say it is y degrees. So this is a straight line, so 60 plus y plus 70 has to be equal to 180 degrees. So that means that y is equals to 180 minus 60 plus 70 is 130. So that is 50 degrees. Y is equal, this angle comes out to be 50 degrees, and this is given as 90 degrees. When you look at triangle BDC, you have one angle as y, that is 50 degrees. One of the angles is 90 degrees plus x is the angle that is missing, that needs to be calculated. The sum of these three angles will be 180 degrees. So x comes out as 180 minus 90 plus 50 is 140. It comes out as 40 degrees. The answer is option B. Let's move to the next question. In the figure above, lines L and P are parallel. The segment AD is same length as segment DC. AD is parallel to BC. If the length of AD is equal to 4, angle ADC is equal to 60 degrees. What is the area of ABCD? So the question says that L and P are parallel and AD is same length as DC. AD is the same length as DC. Let's just join this A to C. And it also says that AD is also parallel to BC. Okay, if the length of AD is equals to 4, if this is 4 units, this is also 4 units, and the angle ADC is equal to 60 degrees. Angle ADC, that is this angle, is 60 degrees. What is the area of ABCD? Since this side and this side are equal, the angles opposing them will also be equal. So let's say this is x, this will also be x. So you have in triangle ADC 60 plus x, that is 2x, is equals to 180. From here you get, subtracting 60, you get 2x is equals to 120. So each of these angles is also equals to 60 degrees. So thus ADC is an equilateral triangle. X comes out to be 60 degrees. Okay, so that is also 4 units. Since the lines AD and BC are parallel, this will also be equal to 60 degrees and this will also be equal to 60 degrees. Since line P is parallel to L, this will also, this interior opposite angles will also be equal. So this will be 60 degrees as well. And since this is a straight line here, we have x plus, let's say this angle is y, x plus y plus 60 plus this angle 60 here has to be equal to 180. Since at C, that is a straight line where the angle will be 180 degrees. So you know that x is equals to 60 degrees. Substituting that, you will get that this y Angle Y also comes out to be 60 degrees. 180 minus 120, 60 plus 60. So this angle also comes out to be 60 degrees. Thus the third angle also will come out to be 60 degrees. This is again an equilateral triangle of side 4 units. So the area of the parallelogram ABCD is nothing but 2 into area of each of these equilateral triangles. They are both equilateral triangles of side 4. And we know the formula for area of equilateral triangle, that is √3/4 into side square. Side here is 4 units for both the equilateral triangles. That's why we added them. Side is 4, 4 square is 16. So 4 into 4, that is, so you have 8√3. The answer is 8√3, that is option D. So the question says, a rectangular garden is to be twice as long as it is wide. If 360 yards of fencing including the gate will completely enclose the garden, what will be the length of the garden in yards? So we are given that it is twice as long as it is wide. So if we say the length is L and the width will be equal to W, it is given that L is equals to 2 times W, and 360 yards of fencing will completely enclose the garden. Okay, so what they mean to say by this is the entire perimeter is equals to 360 yards. And we know perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. And we need to find out the length of the garden. 2L plus 2W, we know from here L is equals to 2W, so you can substitute that. 2L plus L, that is 3L is equals to 360 yards. Therefore, L is equals to 360 divided by 3, it is 120 yards, which is option A. The length of the garden comes out to be 120 yards. Let's look at the next question. If the square is inscribed in the circle and the area of the square is 50, what is the area of the circle? Okay, so when you draw this diagonal of the square, it will pass through the center of the circle. This will be equal to 1 radius and this will be equal to 1 radius. Let's say the side of the square measures A units. So each of these will be A. And we know that from Pythagoras theorem, A square plus A square is equals to 2R whole square, the diagonal length. So here we are saying 2A square is equals to 4R square. Therefore, A is equals to √2R. Now they are telling us the square has an area of, that is the area of the square is 50. So area is equals to 50. Area of a square is nothing but A square. So A square is equals to 50, and we know that A square is equals to 2R square, which will be equal to 50. 2R square is equals to 50. So R square is 50 divided by 2 will be 25. Therefore, R comes out to be 5. And they are asking what is the area of the circle. Area comes out to be, area of a circle is given by pi R square. So it comes out to be pi into 5 square, which is 25 pi. This is option C. Answer is option C. We first calculated, substituted what area is. A square is equals to 50, and we also have this, we got this equation where A square is equals to R square. By substituting that, you are getting your answer. Let's look at the next question. So the question says, if the length and width of rectangle R are each increased by 1, the area of the new rectangle will be 72. If the length and width of rectangle R are each decreased by 1, the area of new rectangle will be 35. What is the perimeter of rectangle R? So let's say that the rectangle R has a length of L and a width of W units. Okay, so now what are we given? That there is a rectangle that will be formed by increasing by the length and width by 1. So let's say a new rectangle R dash, its length is L plus 1 and its width will be W plus 1. This rectangle will have an area of 72. That means that area A dash will be equals to L plus 1 into W plus 1 is given out to be 72. Now if the length and width are decreased by 1, so let's say we have another different rectangle R double dash, the length is decreased by 1, so L minus 1, and width is decreased by 1, so W minus 1, and the area of this triangle A double dash will be equals to L minus 1 into W minus 1 will be 35, is given to be 35. So when you expand this, it is LW plus L plus W plus 1 is equals to 72, and this comes out to be LW minus L minus W plus 1 is equals to 35. Let's call this equation 1, let's call this equation number 2. So from equation number 1 you have L plus W plus LW, taking plus 1 to the other side, you have 72 minus 1, it comes out to be 71, and from the second equation you have, if we by taking 1 this side, you have minus L minus W plus LW is equals to 35 minus 1 will be 34. Multiply this equation by minus 1, then you will have L plus W minus LW is equals to minus 34, and this keep this equation as it is. You have L plus W plus LW is equals to 71. Now add these two, you will get 2 times L plus 2 times W plus LW and minus LW will get cancelled, is equals to 71 minus 34, that is 37. And what is being asked? Perimeter of the rectangle R. Perimeter of rectangle R is nothing but 2 times its length plus 2 times its width, which is coming out to be 37 from these equations here, solving these equations. So the perimeter is 37, which is option B. Those were some questions on geometry. Hope they were clear. Thank you for watching.